Hello again. Well, we're going to start July by going back to last month when we were down on the south coast. Now, when we'd finished in Portsmouth, we went and caught a bus down to Bognor Regis. Now, there's two musical events involved in this next bit of video. One of them is classical, one of them is real rockabilly stuff, so hopefully catering for everyone's tastes. You get a bus to Chichester first, and you have to change onto the Bognor bus, and the changing point is right by Chichester Cathedral, which was advantageous to us because we got off the bus from Portsmouth and immediately we could hear classical music playing, and it was coming from just over in the front of the cathedral on the grass. So the first bit is the ballet dancers who were giving their display at Chichester before we changed buses and headed down to Bognor. Back in Bognor Regis, not gone to the beach this time. One winter 2 years ago I discovered Hotham Park, and it looked very nice, but of course in the winter nothing's open, except it does have a all year round cafe, which is good. So I've had a wander around this park. I've seen there's a miniature railway, and so I had to come back and actually see it running. The park today in the summer, well, all the summer, not just today, it has the miniature railway, it has the cafe open, it has a boating lake, and today there was live music on, and I think I saw a calendar where there are events at all different times through the summer. So watch out for that if you live in this area, live music in Hotham Park. Let's go and have a look. It's the time of the year for travelling, although personally I find it a bit hot, which is why I spend a lot of time in hotel rooms editing my videos under an air conditioner, because I find the temperatures outside, and where I am at the moment, it's about 38 degrees. Ooh, mind you, we had a heat wave at home, so can't complain. We must have got used to the heat by now. We've also got some video coming in from Jess. Our Jess went to Venice for a couple of days, and it, as you might guess, involves a lot of water. So we've got that. We got some more stuff from the Wirral. And where am I now? Well, I'm in Swishtov. More of that later.
Pour me another cup of coffee. Let it warm my restless hands. Every little sip, it softens all the things I never planned. Pour me another cup of coffee. From the park to the busy town, every corner of this journey tastes better when you're around.
about time you sat down. It's not good for you standing up all day.
Welcome to the Wirral.
Here's some video shot back in May in Aston Park, West Kirby. It was a Viking festival, but not many people were dressed as Vikings. Mind you, you wouldn't catch me wearing a Viking outfit.
Aston Park in West Kirby is always a good place for leisure activities. It's got a big lake, which is ideal for these boats. It's got a crown bowling green, I think that's what you call this. And I'm pretty sure the Vikings do not normally play in the woods with their swords and things, so this was the Viking festival that I'd come to see. Aston Park began to take shape in the 1890s in an area bounded by Westbourne Road, Church Road and Carpenter's Lane. It was, however, in two sections. It was bisected, they tell us. It was the Hooton to West Kirby railway line that went through the middle, and of course that was closed down back in the 60s. The lower section of the park was a bit marshy, so that's where they put the lake, and the higher section on the other side of the railway line, the Hooton to West Kirby line, that's higher up. That's where the donkeys are, that's where the fairground is, and you have to go across a bridge to get you across what is now the Wirral Way. Are you all going on a donkey?
Yeah, I am. Down party, down party.
And in the blink of an eye, we've hopped a few thousand miles over to Italy and to Venice, which is pretty well known for all its water. Our granddaughter Jess, who is a bit of a traveller, went over there for a couple of days, and she of course has one of my cameras, so she brought us some pictures of the gondolas and so on as they find their way through the centre of Venice. Well, thanks to Jess for the film of her boat trip, and she's gone off to another place now, having come home in the meantime to give me the video footage, and she's not promising to send us anything from there because she's in some tropical place where she intends to spend a week by the pool, and we don't really want to watch that. So it's back to me, I guess, and the next video you see will come from me. And I've already said I was in Chichester, so you can guess that the next video you will see will be from Bulgaria.
Take me there, let me breathe that river. Coletto, let me stay till the light gives me away. Watch it fall over the Danube.
The last time I was in this park by Bucharest North Station, it was nearly 40 degrees and I didn't know what to do with myself. These tall trees in the park do help. And I'm back here again, and a storm is threatened today, so we're only around 30, not too bad, and a few spots of rain have already been felt. I've just come back from Bulgaria, been staying in the Dunav hotel and rooms opposite Aleko Square, so that's improved a lot. It's got a lift now, and I ended up on the 4th floor with, for the first time, a room that had a look behind the hotel, whereas I normally look over Aleko Square, so that was something different. I went to Orish to look at my house, the Maritza Boulevard, and I couldn't get near it because it had become so overgrown. So unfortunately I did fly the drone over it, but couldn't get anywhere near it and decided it wasn't worth it anyway, because my trip to Orish had been to try and find someone to work on it. Basically, there isn't anybody left. They've all taken full-time jobs. Not quite sure what that's about, but the owner of the Dunav said it's something to do with European law, but don't know what that is. So I met up with Colin. He took me down to a new cafe that's opened in Orish Village. They were very nice people, and I'm showing you now a quick look at the inside and then the new outside, which they've only just opened, of their cafe, which is apparently doing well in the evenings and weekends. Just behind me here, over there, is the Bank of Transylvania. I think it might be their headquarters because it's huge. I've shown you that before. The border control, which I've also had a bit of a moan about when you're using the train, in that they were checking your passports on both sides of the Danube, in Romania and in Bulgaria, and they were waltzing off with them and you didn't know when they were coming back. And it took an extra hour overall onto the train journey. Well, now they come onto the train and they do everything on the move. They've got little gadgets that read your passport. Whole thing's been very much updated and quite impressive. So actually the border control were quite helpful, because I didn't know which train to get on from Rusa, and I spoke to one of the border control people. He said, well, just follow us because we're going over the river, and if you're on the same train as us, you're on the right train. Very good. While I was in Chichester, there was a huge storm. I had one like this a few years ago, and it caught me out, and I was standing in a shop doorway, and this was the view I was getting. One final thing that's worth a look, apart from some of the other stuff that I'll just throw in anyway, is that the fountains in Aleko Square are now fully functioning, and I film those both during the day and during the evening, because at night they all light up. So that's definitely improved the whole square, and of course the Trumpet Pub sits on the edge of that, so you can sit outside, have a drink and have those fountains sprinkling away in front of you. When temperatures are in the mid to late 30s, you really do like to stand by the fountains. It helps keep you cool. And to sit at the Trumpet and look out on all that is certainly nice, but still a bit warm. Luckily, inside the pub, it is all air conditioned. I did spend quite a lot of time in there. I've just walked a few steps down from Alaco Square towards a car park that's at the bottom of here. So if you're coming to the Trumpet pub, this is where you want to park. And if you keep on going down this hill and round the corner, you end up around at Coletto Park, the park on the hill. And as you can probably tell, it would be a good place up there to watch the sunset over Romania.
Up on Coletto, the stone still stands. Old walls holding the shape of hands. St. Dimitar Church keeps watch up high, wide and warm in the clear blue sky. I run my fingers on the cold old frame, hear the past call me by name. Every step through the worn out land feels like history understands.
So there's the Hotel Danube overlooking Alaco Square, and here's the room I got this time with its views out the back, which is slightly uphill, and some of the houses up there obviously get a good view. Down below there's a service road along the back, there's also some car parking, and out the front you're slightly elevated because there's a row of shops at the street level, and then there's steps up into the hotel. For as long as I can remember, the steps have been a trip hazard and the tiles in very poor condition. Don't understand why you have slippery tiles anyway, and when the storm was on I actually slipped and fell and crashed my back into one of these steps, and weeks later now I still have a swollen back. On the day I was leaving, they were repairing the steps. Well, they were doing something with them anyway. This is another hotel we often stay at. It's the Nove. The entrance on the side there goes into their restaurant, which is air-conditioned. But this time I took the plunge and sat in the garden restaurant at the back. The hotel I was staying in doesn't have its own restaurant, so I was pleased to come back down to the Nove and have some of my meals here. One of the meals I had there was with Colin, and we then went up to a supermarket I haven't been to before. It's behind the hospital, which is uphill behind the hotel I was staying in, and it's really modern and cool inside. Yeah, cool is good. I needed some new sandals, so I popped into Pepco, got some plastic ones for about £3.50. Opposite Pepco is Casamia, where Colin and I went last time and picked up some compost. I went for a meal with a friend of mine from Orange called Raphael, who speaks several languages, including mine, and we went to this restaurant I haven't been to before. It's called the Bohème. I should point out that we pronounce it Bohème, but any other language in Europe probably call it Bohème. I walked past the PR Club restaurants, but the inside air-conditioned part wasn't open, and I didn't fancy being up on the roof out in the heat. So I kept walking, and as I did, I kept passing cats that were asleep under the trees, absolutely drained of all energy, no doubt. And with me staying on the square this time, all roads seem to lead back to Alaco Square and the pub. And of course you can park your car alongside here, and if you look over the top of the cars that are parked here, you can see the Danube, so that's how close we are to it. That's the Trumpet, and that's the pork lasagna that I had several times while I was in Bulgaria. I just love the stuff.
bus or train, we're off to hit the road again. Maythorn Monthly. It's the Maythorn Monthly. Cross that Danube, cross that Danube. From Bulgaria to you. Cross that Danube, cross that Danube. Rolling up to Bucharest too.
I normally get to Bucharest by train from Rusa, and at Rusa station you can see this great big tower. It's 204 metres tall. Apparently till 2001 it was the tallest building in the Balkans. There's no point in going to try and see it because it's surrounded by a fence and security cameras. Rusa's a pretty quiet station where nothing much goes on, but it is important because you get to cross the River Danube by the bridge and then make your way up through Romania. The most striking thing about the journey across from the Danube right the way up to Bucharest is the number of fields that are absolutely chock full of sunflowers.
Roost on the boat, then the river gleams. Danube shining like a split screen dream. I watch the banks go by so slow. Take me where the cold winds blow. Cross that Danube, cross that Danube. From Bulgaria to you. Cross that Danube, cross that Danube. Rolling up to Bucharest too. On the bus with the vinyl seat, a plastic bottle at my feet. Open road and a ticket stub. Passing fields in a roadside club. We laugh when the border signs appear. Same old road, but it feels so near. Roost to Bucharest, heart in gear. Every mile says you're almost here. Cross that Danube, cross that Danube. From Bulgaria to you. Cross that Danube, cross that Danube. Rolling up to Bucharest too. One river wide, one trip long, but my little hope stays strong. Windows up and the daylight fades, still I'm smiling through the waves. Cross that Danube, cross that Danube. From Bulgaria to you. Cross that Danube, cross that Danube. Rolling up to Bucharest too.
And there we were, tracking the progress of the train as it rolled into Bucharest North Station. And here's the aerial view of the station, and I'll explain how I got that later on.
We are in Bucharest, Romania, just opposite Bucharest North Railway Station. I really love the multicoloured trams they have here. From the station, over the road, you can get a train to the airport. It takes about 25 minutes. There are direct flights from there to Liverpool, so it is a good way to get here. Brian has been staying in a couple of hotels here, which he will tell you about now.
Thanks, Susie. Here's the first one. It's called the Uranus. It's about a 5-minute walk from the station, and it's only a short street that it's in off the main road, but right at the far end of the street, the end I don't normally come in at, I found that there was a big marketplace, an indoor market and an outdoor market which wasn't in session at the time I left because I was leaving for an early train. I'd not been out this way before, and it was a very pleasant open area. I have to come back when it's all in session. There's a stage here, so they presumably have some events on. I'm not quite sure what the car's role here is. And over the far side, you'll notice some little food trucks and those sort of things. You need to come back when it was busy to see those in action. There are one or two interesting shops in the side street, and then I proceeded along towards what looked to me in the distance like a McDonald's. Let's have a look. This is actually an outdoor cafe, and I might have stopped here for a coffee if it wasn't that I had a train to catch, but I did notice a few people sitting out even at the time of morning that it was. Then I came to the street that I needed to turn left down towards the station, but I noticed this church just across the road, so I thought I'd cross over there and take a couple of pictures of it. Now this is a long shot of the junction I was just talking about, and I actually took this from another hotel that I stayed in a week later. This is a picture of the accommodation I was supposed to stay at, and I hung around here for nearly 2 hours trying to make contact with the owners. I never got in, so I ended up booking the hotel that you will see now. I literally went onto booking.com and I picked the hotel that was nearest to where I was standing and walked into reception and said I've got a reservation. At the end of the road leading back to the station that I showed you, there's this pub. We've been to this one before, and you may recognise it by the interior. They sat me in exactly the same table as last time. It was marked reserved, so it makes you wonder if they knew something that I didn't. Now in these temperatures you needed to drink a lot of water, so it was very handy that opposite the pub, after I'd had my evening meal, I was able to cross the road to Frew. It's not a name I've come across before, but it's a convenience store. Conveniently they sold all the water I needed. From Frew, the route back to the station is well known to me. It's only a few hundred yards from here, past the sex shop that we've seen before, and the exchange booth, and a street bar, and the florist. They were all there last time I was here, and at this point you can see the station across the road. And I think I agree with Susie, the trams are very colourful indeed. So what am I doing in Bucharest when I'm travelling to Bulgaria? Well, switched off, the place you can see there on the map, that's where I need to get to from the UK. There are 4 airports in Bulgaria. Only Sofia has routes all the year round, the others are seasonal. So if you then add Bucharest to the map, you'll see it's the nearest airport. The train takes longer than the bus because it goes a slightly longer way, but it's interesting, goes through a lot of decent countryside. You'll see that the train goes into Bucharest North, and then there's another train line that comes out of the station and heads up towards Otopeni Airport. Complete opposite to Rusa station, this station is always very busy, there are always trains coming and going, it's always packed, and on this occasion it was extremely hot and I had to hide under the air conditioning in McDonald's. So things to do on the last day, the day I'm flying back from Bucharest to Liverpool. Stay in the hotel as long as possible until you get chucked out at 12 o'clock. Have a shower just before you go to make sure you're as cool as you can be, and then head for perhaps the park opposite the station where you can hide under the trees. While in the park I asked Google where I could get some lunch, and it told me about a bistro that I hadn't noticed before, possibly because of how high up it was. It was on the 6th floor of a hotel that I'd never even noticed. Up in the lift, and it's an outside terrace restaurant that you can see all around the city, and I got to try the local delicacies and to drink the Romanian beer. And so that's how I got my aerial pictures of Bucharest city. Anyway, that's it for now. We have to take off until next time.